Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Parlay Studios. I'm your host, Celine Trimarchi, alongside my
We're
co-host,
reunited, Celine.
Justin
After so
Pooni.
long, after you left us for Nashville for so
I
long.
did, and it was the best 9 days of my life, let me tell you that. But we're back. I'm back. Hockey season, starting to watch it again. Toronto Maple Leafs. Oh, Lord. Okay, so let's just dive into it. Today we're going to be talking his favorite team, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Isn't that right, Justin? Your favorite team?
I'll be in the building on Saturday.
Yeah, against who?
My team.
So who are you voting for?
Who do you think I'm voting for? Come on now.
Come on, we gotta get you onto the Leafs fan base.
No.
You know what? Actually,
Nope.
I feel like that will never happen because we all hate you. So it's okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Somebody's got to wear the black hats.
Yeah. So why are we talking the Leafs? It's so funny. But anyways, let's just dive into it. So 14 games played for the Toronto Maple Leafs. What are your impressions so far on this team? I feel like it's 50-50.
Boston, Carolina this past weekend really impressed me. Back-to-back games against two really good teams, and we're going to touch on Boston a little bit later, but I was really impressed with what I saw with the Leafs. I saw a team that, after that West Coast trip where you saw them struggle against Anaheim, struggle against San Jose, they lost to Arizona the week before. But this team is kind of catching its stride, I think. They are going to start getting healthier in net as well. But they're kind of where I expect them to be, right? Yeah. In the middle of the pack, in the division, kind of in that middle zone, and then we'll see what happens. Because generally in the NHL, after or around December, you start seeing the teams rise to the cream rise to the top. Right? So I want to see if the Leafs can build on this traction and start playing better and more consistent hockey.
What do you think about Matthews? How do you think his play is so far this season?
I know a lot of people have been making up about like his scoring and stuff like that, but look, when you score 60 goals in 1 year, you're going to garner a lot of attention, right? And teams are now going to play Austin Matthews hard like that. You saw what Travis Konecny did last week when, getting under his skin, acting like a pest. And then everybody was like, oh, well, Matthews shouldn't. Why is Matthews defending himself? I'm a big proponent of if some guy's going to come at you, you go right back at him. But
Matthews will never do that.
He won't do it, right?
You'll never see McDavid
You'll never see that anymore. It's not how the NHL is anymore. It's not how it will be. So that's for another story another day. But I think Austin Matthews is always going to be a threat when he's on the ice to score goals and all that stuff. So he's playing well. You could see that his game has kind of evolved. But I think everybody remembered from last year the rapid rate he was scoring goals at. And I think the expectation is so high for him to, can he reach 60 again? I don't see that, but I definitely see him, lighting the lamp a lot for the rest of the year for the Leafs.
Yeah, I mean, we still have quite a few games left.
Of course.
It's the beginning of November.
It's like only 13 games into the year?
Yeah. It's nothing. We just touched the surface right now. And like you were saying, after winter break, that's kind of when everything really
and then you start seeing some people come back from injuries, and you might see some trades, and you start seeing the teams catch their stride.
But I'm going to agree with you on that. I feel like the team has picked up its pace, given the start that we had, for sure. And Matthews stepped up his game too. I mean, 7 points in his last 5 games played. Yeah. I'm like, I'll give it to him. But then when we look at Connor McDavid, you got 29 points in 14 games.
The thing with McDavid and Draisaitl is they're just totally different.
Duo.
They're just a totally different beast.
Yeah, fair enough.
Those two are just point monsters,
they're
right?
Elite.
Yeah, exactly.
They're elite.
I think, you go McDavid, Makar, Draisaitl are my top 3. So you have 2 of the 3 best players on the planet. So.
No, for sure. And just Sheldon Keefe, one thing before we kind of jump into something else, I feel like he really needs to put his foot down more with this team.
Yeah, I think...
Marner can't be pulling a suck like this.
Yeah, I didn't like what Marner did last week, or was it in Anaheim? We went down the tunnel to break the stick or whatever like that. If you're going to break a stick and show frustration, just do it on the bench, do it on the ice, right? I do believe that, the Leafs' biggest problem has never been the skill, never been the ability of players. It's just been up here, the mental thing, right?
Yes.
And I think that starts with the culture and coaching, right? And I think Sheldon Keefe is a good coach, but I just don't see him as that guy to lead the Leafs over that hump, right?
You want to know who will lead the Leafs?
Oh yeah, you started a Twitter firestorm last week.
Let's talk about
started Twitter. You were like an NHL insider last week. Tell us that.
Oh, no.
I want to hear that story. I haven't heard that story yet. Tell us that story.
Interesting. Okay, Justin. So basically, everybody listening to this, if you saw the tweet, awesome. If you didn't see the tweet, because
everybody saw. I think all of Canada saw it.
I think lots of people saw it. So I was at the Nashville airport, and I bumped into Barry Trotz. I think he was flying in from somewhere, and then he was jumping on the connecting flight from Nashville to Toronto because he's going to Winnipeg. He was going to Winnipeg, people, not Toronto for anything. But I had to talk to him because I'm like, when do you ever see Barry Trotz? When is he ever on your flight? You know what I mean? So after the plane landed, he was like getting off and he sat directly like on an angle to me.
And you were like creeping on him like, oh my God, that's Barry Trotz. Oh my God, that's Barry Trotz.
I was starstruck. He's like one of the best coaches in the league. I was starstruck. So after, guys, this is very embarrassing.
No, just tell
I
the world.
didn't know how to word this, but I was like, hi, I know who you are.
Did he say that back to you? He's like, hi.
I know
who you are.
I'm like, I know you are. And it's really nice to like finally meet you in person. I'm like, we can really use the help down in Toronto. So he started laughing. And then he was like, oh, well, you know, the Leafs won last night, which was against Philly that night. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, but they should have won a lot more games. And he's like, oh, well, the first 10 games, like you get a feel whether your team is still in vacation mode or not. So me, being me, I go, well, it looks like our team's ready for the golf season. So he started laughing, and I was like, yeah, I'm making Barry Trotz laugh. Like, woo.
Barry Trotz, but how are you an assistant coach now after that?
Yeah, I could be.
Jeez.
So then after that was said, he said, well, the next 14 games will determine, like, where they stand. So that was the tweet that you saw when I tweeted, and I honestly did not think it was going to blow up like that, but it did.
You knew it was going to blow because Barry Trotz, Toronto, you know those rumors of him.
Twitter's very interesting. Some things blow up, some things don't. So I wasn't necessarily that sure if it would blow up or not. Plus, I don't have a lot of followers.
So you think Barry Trotz is going to be the next coach of the Leafs?
Possibly. It could possibly happen. But you don't know. Like, you never know. I mean, right now he wants to be with his family. So that's totally fine.
Did he personally tell you that?
Well, no, we read about it.
Okay, I'm asking. You guys are buddies now, right? Like, that's what I thought.
No, but he was with his family going back to Winnipeg.
So the way I see it going on back to the coaching thing, that's a great story, by the way. Thank you for the story.
No problem.
But going back to Leafs coaching, I don't think they're gonna make a coaching change in season, unless like they just bottom out, right, and they lose like 10 straight. I see Dubas and the way they operate this team is if they don't get it past the first round or they flame out in the playoffs again. Then I see a coaching change. But then I see a whole sweeping change with the whole organization.
There's going to be a lot to talk about. If they don't make it past the first round, it's going to be a whole new team next year. I swear to God, behind the scenes. But we'll see what happens. I mean, one step at a time. Like, it's just November. But on a positive note, Matt Murray was back at practice and Samsonov skated before his teammates. So, Leaf fans, things are looking bright on the goaltending issue. But now let's kind of jump forward and talk more about a different team, which is there's been quite a bit of teams that have kind of came out of nowhere, and we didn't expect them to have the season that they started to have. So, Justin, what team is your biggest surprise?
My biggest surprise is going to be the Vegas Golden Knights. They just played the Leafs last night. Right? I thought, so when I looked at Vegas, right, I'm like, they lost Pacioretty, they have no more depth. Their goaltending, Robin Leonard was out. Like, Bruce Cassidy was going to come in as coach. How is that going to work? Because he kind of flamed out in Boston. They're 12-2 right now, and they look really, really good, right? Marshall's playing well. Riley Smith's playing well again, but Jack Eichel is that dude again. He's showing you why they gave up so much for him. He's showing you why when they were, after that draft came out, right below Connor McDavid, he was there, right? So I really like what I'm seeing from Jack Eichel and the Vegas Golden Knights. It hurts me because, I thought they were going to be around where my Canucks are in the Pacific Division. But
you had high hopes for your Canucks
we'll touch on that in a second. But Vegas has been very impressive. Bruce Cassidy's done a great job. They're playing so much. Their structure's back. They're scoring goals. I think they have a top 10 penalty kill, top 10 goals against average. So Vegas has definitely surprised me. A player that surprised me, because I got the love to the Canucks right now.
Toss him in.
My captain, Bo Horvat, this year has 12 goals in 13 games. He's currently on pace for 76 goals. That's more than 60 that Matthew scored last year.
We should make a bet on this.
He's not going to score 76, okay? But I want to say this. Look, there's been a lot of negativity with the Canucks all season with their lack of passion, lack of accountability from the players, lack of structure from the coaching. But Bo Horvat has been their best player, scoring goals, winning faceoffs, being that accountable leader. He also tried to give a fan back some money after he missed that penalty shot on Saturday. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I think I did see that.
Bo Horvat, I didn't know he could score at this clip, but he's scoring at this clip. He's in a contract year. Worries me he's going to cost the Canucks a lot of money, but I would keep him in any case. But Who's your surprise?
Honestly, my surprise is the Boston Bruins. I kind of shit-talked them in the beginning of the year. I'm like, oh, no, they're going to be like a bottom team. They're not going to be good anymore.
They're first place. I think they're 12-2 right now too, right?
They're 11-2.
Oh, so 11-2.
11-2, but they're 7-0 at home ice.
Yeah.
This team is on fire. Pasta is literally insane.
Well, David Pastrak's playing for a new contract too.
But he's so good. He's so talented. I feel like he'll definitely be up there with the Art Ross trophy. He could be a possible candidate.
I don't know if he's a touch McDavid and Draisaitl, but he'll be around.
He'll be up there, at least like top 4, like up there for sure. But no, I'm gonna stick with the Boston Bruins. I think this year with their coach, like he rearranged the team and they all connect so much better. And it's just there's so much more dynamic, and their defense has gotten so much stronger. So. Honestly, Boston's really. I'm kind of scared if we get stuck playing Boston in the first round.
You don't want to play Boston in the first round.
No, you don't.
Year, no.
Like last year, we could have taken them on, but this year, looking at this team right now, I don't know how that's gonna happen.
I think with the Bruins, it's sometimes like I talked about Bruce Cassidy doing a great job in Vegas. Of course, the ex-coach of the Bruins. Sometimes it's just a fresh voice that changes things, right? Like you know when you live in your house, whatever, you just put a fresh coat of paint on, and it makes it feel totally different, right? That's kind of what I'm getting from the Boston Bruins right now. So I think they're def now off the ice. The whole Mitchell Miller thing was an absolute joke in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
But on the ice, this team, they're playing very well, and kudos to them.
They are. They're playing really well.
Pains me to say that, but kudos to them.
Pains me to say that. I'm a Leafs fan here. This is our rivals. But anyways, that's enough from me and Justin today at the Parlay Studios. We'll catch you guys next week, and we'll chat lots more hockey, lots more Leafs. Go Leafs, go, Justin. Say it with us. Go Leafs, go.